Movie critic Gregory Wakeman hated Thor Ragnarok, but he also liked it. But he didn't like it, and then he thought it was crappy. And this is a man who could not make up his damn mind. Hey, what's going on, guys? If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that little bell right next to it. Also, once you finish the video, we'd love to hear what you thought of this guy's review of Thor Ragnarok. Now let's take a look at this stupid critic. There is a moment halfway through Thor Ragnarok where you see the titular character being pummeled in the face by the Hulk over and over and over again. Rather than being concerned with Thor's well-being, we are instead just supposed to laugh off this brutal, teetering on masochistic display of cartoonish violence. I mean, after all, Thor is a god. So we can't laugh at a god? That's a shitty god. Or are you saying the Hulk can't hurt Thor? Or Thor can't hurt the Hulk? I mean, yeah, it was cartoonish, but that's why it was done. It was done that way. You were supposed to kind of laugh and enjoy it. I mean, it's not like we were all really worried that Thor was gonna die. He was fine. We knew he was good. They're just friends from work. That's literally water cooler talk for them. But herein lies the problem with Thor Ragnarok. With Thor unmoved and able to withstand even the most ferocious of hammerings, and also now suddenly able to disperse a funny one-liner at any opportunity to lighten the situation, it quickly becomes impossible to feel invested. It wasn't new for him to be funny. It actually just kept going. I mean, they all had humor. It's him in situations that he kind of doesn't understand and he ends up funny. It's like a new thing. It's the third fucking movie. And not even the third time we've seen him. It's what, like the fifth? What the is going on? We've seen him like 20 times at this point and he's been funny like every time. You don't get mad about that. You don't get to watch the third season of Pee-wee's Playhouse and be like, what, so when does he get to be weird? Like, he's been weird for 3 fucking seasons. Pee-wee's Playhouse. All right. In fact, come the end of Thor Ragnarok, you'll be shocked by just how little you actually cared throughout what just transpired, I guess. I mean, it didn't really seem like they did anything to make you thoroughly care. It just seemed like they were trying to entertain you pretty hardcore in this one. Which, is that really bad? Is it bad to just go in and be entertained? Do you really just have to have like some emotional response every single time? It's like falling in love with the stripper. It's not a good idea. You know, just get entertained and leave. Go back to your wife. What the f is wrong with you? Or go back to your husband. Women can go to strip clubs too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be, I don't know what word to use anymore. There's all these words now. Don't get me wrong, Thor Ragnarok does have its merits. It is consistently funny. Yeah. That's a thing you were mad about like 2 seconds ago. And now you're like, that's a good thing though. Man, make up your mind. It's like someone screwed up your order and got it completely wrong, but you ended up with lots of fries. You're like, well, at least I ended up with lots of fries. I don't even know if that analogy works. But the laughs don't compensate for its lame action and complete lack of suspense and surprises, especially when you consider that Ragnarok's trailer featured all of its biggest beats, and that being thrilled, wowed, and on the edge of your seat is exactly why we watched these enormous blockbusters. I mean, there was a lot of CG in this. There was a lot of fighting, a lot of superhero-y stuff. There was a giant wolf. There was lightning. There was actually a lot of stuff that wasn't just humor, now that I think about it. And I didn't see that wolf in the trailer, so you're wrong. You're wrong about the wolf. Of course, what makes you thrilled, wowed, and on the edge of your seat is entirely subjective. But here's my overblown bullshit opinion about it. For some, probably most, a bountiful of laughs, a zippy pace, and super bright visuals is enough to satisfy those feelings. But I just can't condone I know where this is going to. For a lot of people, like most people, being entertained by stuff is enough. But I need more. It's like, come on, man. I have a car that parks itself, but why doesn't it turn into a plane and feed me ice cream? F you, it parks itself. But I just can't condone a blockbuster that didn't even threaten to raise the hairs on the back of my neck and made me feel nothing more than a gentle laugh. You said there were a lot of laughs. You didn't say whether they were gentle or hard. You were constantly changing your mind from sentence to sentence and paragraph to paragraph. You're like a girl who's trying to figure out if she wants to leave the friend zone. Marvel's usual action problems are apparent as they're colorful, chaotic, but lack any actual punch. Every single Marvel movie doesn't have a good action scene. No? None of them like, Kind of got you going a little bit. I mean, every Marvel movie has like at least 3 action scenes, and there's been like, what, 14 or 15 Marvel movies at this point? That's like, what's the math, like 45 actions? None? No? That's a lot. You made me do math just trying to figure this out, and now I'm pissed. In fact, aside from Thor's aforementioned drubbing, Waititi annoyingly cuts to black, or away from the final blow of numerous fight sequences, which only adds to the feeling of frustration. But was it gently funny? I'm just assuming that the next thing you say is like, but the fight sequences were great, because you change your mind every single time you say something. Also, how can you say colorful fight sequences immediately followed by, but they always fade to black? After Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was only salvaged by its emotional denouement, Thor Ragnarok is so inconsequential and immediately disposable that it is enough to suggest that, creatively at least, Marvel have, or soon will, jump the proverbial shark. The only thing that saved Guardians of the Galaxy was emotions. Like laughter, which there was a lot of in this movie. It also means that Marvel needs to be included whenever people complain that sports stars and actors are paid millions while soldiers and nurses are given pittance, and fuck you. Fuck you for making that a part of your review. What does that have to do with if this movie's good or we should see it? Come on. You're just trying to elicit emotions. That's horrible. It's like, you know, people are dying. It's like, yeah, I just wanted to see a movie. Man, it's not like I went to that, what's that new soldier movie? There's like 20 of them, I don't even know. But they just spent $180 million on what is essentially a flashy Napoleon Dynamite, and that's just not good enough. Vote for Korg, when Hulk shows up and he's like, yeah, and he's excited. And then Thor realizes that he's gonna kick his ass and he's like, it would be really funny if he was like, God Hulk. Like, ugh. They're sitting in the room talking. He's like, you know what my favorite animal is? A liger. What's liger? Jeff Goldblum sitting there with a liger. Thank you guys so much for watching. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it. Also, be sure to tell us what you thought of Thor Ragnarok and this review in the comments. If you want to see another video from us, click one of the ones on the screen. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.